My girlfriend said, I have been completely honest with you about everything. Then her phone rang. Caller ID said husband. I answered it. When a man said, hey babe, when are you coming home, I realized I had been the side guy for 18 months. I'm a 31-year-old guy writing this from my apartment where 3 days ago I found out my girlfriend of 18 months is married with a kid. Still feels fake when I type it out like that. Like something that happens in movies, not to regular people who work normal jobs and go to the same coffee shop every morning. I met Kira at that coffee shop actually. She was reading a book I loved and we started talking. She seemed perfect. Smart, funny, beautiful in this effortless way. She said she worked remote for a tech company, traveled a lot for client meetings. Made sense because she would disappear for days sometimes, but we texted constantly when she was gone. We spent weekends at my place, never hers. She said her roommate was super weird about guests. I bought it. My apartment was nicer anyway. 3 days ago she was on my couch watching something on Netflix while I did dishes. Normal Tuesday night. Her phone rang on the coffee table. I glanced over and the caller ID said husband. Not a contact name, just the word husband. I stared at it for a second thinking maybe it was a joke contact name or something, but my stomach already knew. I picked it up, answered it. Hey babe, when are you coming home? A man's voice, comfortable and familiar. Izzy is asking about you. There was a long pause while I tried to form words. Who is this? I finally said. Another pause, longer this time. Who the hell are you? Where is Kira? I am Noah, Kira's boyfriend. Who is Izzy? Her daughter. I am Blake, her husband. Where is my wife? The bathroom door opened and Kira walked out. She saw me standing there with her phone and went completely white. I heard Blake's voice still talking through the speaker. Noah, I can explain. Kira was already moving toward me, reaching for the phone. Your daughter is asking about you, I said to her, still holding the phone away. She lunged for it. I stepped back. Blake, I said into the phone, you should come get your wife. I will text you my address from her phone. I'm on my way, he said and hung up. I looked at Kira. You are married. It is not what you think. You have a daughter. How old is Izzy? Noah, please just listen to me. How old is she? 4. She is 4 years old. 4 years old. A whole kid. A whole husband. A whole life I knew nothing about. Get out, I said. Noah, please just listen. Get out now. She started grabbing her stuff, crying, trying to explain between sobs. She kept saying it is complicated and I was going to tell you and I really love you. I did not say anything. Just stood there holding her phone like it was evidence, which I guess it was. She left. I locked the door behind her and stood in my apartment that suddenly felt different. Like the walls knew something I had not known. Like the couch where we had spent dozens of nights watching movies was in on the joke. Blake showed up maybe 30 minutes later. Big guy, probably 6'2", looked exhausted and pissed off in equal measure. We stood in my doorway staring at each other. How long? He asked. 1.5 years. Jesus. She told me she started a new project at work. Had to travel sometimes, stay near client offices. I believed her. She told me the same thing, I said. Different project probably. We stood there. 2 idiots who believed the same lies told by the same woman. She ever mentioned me? Blake asked. Never. Yeah, she never mentioned you either. We were quiet for a minute. I could hear my neighbor's TV through the wall. Normal sounds from a normal night that was not normal at all. I am home with our kid while she is doing this, he said. Could not finish the sentence. He just shook his head and left. I sat on my couch and stared at the wall for probably 3 hours. Did not turn on the TV or look at my phone. Just sat there replaying 18 months of my life and seeing all the things I had missed. The way she never stayed Sunday nights. The way she never answered calls from unknown numbers when we were together. The careful way she talked about her life, always vague about details. Next morning I woke up to my phone going crazy. Kira had sent maybe 50 texts overnight. Noah, please, I can explain everything. It is not what it looks like. Blake and I have not been good for years. I was going to leave him. I just needed time. I love you. Please talk to me. I sent one message back. Don't contact me. We are done. She replied immediately. Noah, please. I can explain. Blake and I are basically roommates. We have not been intimate in years. I was going to file for divorce, but I needed to do it right for Izzy. I love you. Only you, please. I blocked her number. Then I did something I should have done 18 months ago. I looked her up properly. Found her Facebook public profile. Wedding photos from 6 years ago. Baby pictures, family vacations. Blake's arm around her. Izzy on her lap. The whole happy family thing. And mixed in with all that, recent posts. Date night with a photo at a restaurant I had taken her to last month. Weekend getaway from a trip we took to wine country. Carefully cropped so I was not in them. Captions like treating myself and self-care Saturday. She had documented our entire relationship publicly while hiding me. Every date, every trip, every moment I thought was ours. She posted them as solo adventures while her husband saw business trips and I saw a girlfriend with a weird roommate. I felt like the world's biggest moron. Blake contacted me a couple days later, found me on social media somehow, asked if we could meet. I said yes. We met at a bar, both ordered whiskey. Seemed appropriate. I kicked her out, Blake said. That night after I picked her up from your place, told her to leave. Where did she go? Her sister's place. She tried the whole "it is complicated" thing with me too. I told her to save it. How is your daughter? Confused, keeps asking why mommy is not home. I told her mommy is at Aunt Jenna's house for a bit. He took a drink. I do not know what to tell a 4-year-old about this. That is rough, I said. You want to know the really messed up part? Blake pulled out his phone and showed me something. I found receipts. She has been using our joint credit card for your dates. The one I thought was for business expenses. My stomach dropped. What? Yeah, fancy dinners, hotels, that wine country weekend you mentioned in your profile. I paid for half of that trip. I paid for most of our stuff, I said slowly. But sometimes she would insist on treating me. Said she wanted to, made a big deal about it. With my money, Blake said. He laughed, but it was not a funny laugh. She charged maybe $3,000 in 6 months on stuff for you too. I thought it was client dinners and work hotels. And there it was. The twist I had not seen coming. Not only had she lied to both of us, she had used his money to fund our relationship. Every time she insisted on paying for dinner or surprised me with concert tickets or booked us a nice hotel, she was spending her husband's money. Money he thought was going to business expenses. We kept talking and comparing notes. The picture got worse and worse. She told Blake she was working on a major project that needed travel, told me the same thing about different clients. Weekdays with Blake and Izzy, weekends and some weeknights with me. Whenever there was overlap, she claimed emergency meetings or project deadlines. 18 months, Blake said, staring at his drink. 18 months of lying to both of us every single day. You ever suspect anything? No, she was good, really good. She would come home from work trips with stories about conferences, people she met, had answers for everything. Same, I said. She would tell me about her roommate's drama, her coworkers, stuff happening at her sister's place. All fake. She does not have a roommate, Blake said. That is me and Izzy. We kept going through everything we could remember. Blake showed me Kira's Instagram. There was a post from 4 months ago, girl's trip with her sister, heart emoji and everything. I knew that weekend, I said. That was when Kira and I went to the coast. She told me her sister canceled last minute so we could go alone. She told me she was with Jenna, Blake said. Sister bonding time. Even called me from Jenna's place to say good night to Izzy. She called me that same night, I said. From the hotel bathroom, we matched up more dates. Every work trip, every girls' night, every family emergency. She had been juggling both of us perfectly for 18 months. 2 completely separate lives that never touched until her phone rang on my coffee table. Why? Blake asked. If she was not happy with me, why not just get divorced? Why drag you into it? She told me she had been single for a while before we met, I said. That she was ready for something real. She ever mention Izzy to you? Never. Blake looked at his drink for a long time. She is not a great mom. I love my daughter, but Kira has always been distant with her. Like motherhood was not what she expected. I do most of the parenting. She uses work to escape. So she was escaping her family and pretending to be single with me. Looks like it. I am filing for divorce, Blake said. Already got a lawyer. Adultery matters in this state. I am documenting everything. You need me to testify or anything. If it comes to that, yeah, would you? Absolutely. She does not get to wreck both our lives and walk away clean. We exchanged numbers. He showed me some pictures of Izzy. Cute kid with Kira's eyes. She deserves better than this, Blake said, looking at his daughter's photo. When we left the bar, I felt weird. Not better exactly, but less alone. Like finding out you are not the only one who got scammed somehow makes it hurt less. So that is where I am now. Reddit. 2 days after my girlfriend's husband picked her up from my apartment. Still processing, still angry, but at least I am not processing alone. Blake and I have plans to meet again next week. Compare more notes, figure out what we missed. Strangest friendship origin story ever. Update 1. 2 days after I posted, Kira showed up at my apartment. I have a Ring doorbell, so I saw her before she could knock. She looked terrible. Part of me felt bad. The other part remembered 18 months of lies. I opened the door but left the chain on. What do you want? To talk, please, just 5 minutes. No, Noah, please, I need to explain. You are married, you have a kid. You lied about everything. What is there to explain? It is not that simple. It is exactly that simple. Go home. Oh wait, you do not have one anymore. Your husband kicked you out. That was low, she said. Do not care. I love you, she said, tears running down her face. I really do. Blake and I have been over for years. I only stayed for Izzy. That is so cliché, I am almost impressed. It is true. We are basically roommates. Have not been happy since she was born. I wanted out but did not know how. So you dated me for 18 months while living with your husband. That was the solution, I was going to tell you. I needed time to figure out how to leave Blake properly. 18 months was not enough time. She cried harder. I was scared. Scared of losing you if you knew. Scared of hurting Izzy. Scared of starting over. So you just lied. Yes. Okay, yes, I lied because I was a coward. But my feelings for you are real. What we had was real. We had nothing real. It was all lies. Please, I will do anything. I will get divorced. I will make this right. Just do not shut me out. You are not getting divorced for me. You are getting divorced because you cheated on your husband with me for 18 months. Noah. I talked to Blake. We compared notes. I know about the credit card. About you using his money for our dates. All the lies you told both of us. Her face changed. Desperate to angry in a second. You talked to my husband. Yeah, turns out we have a lot in common. You had no right. I had every right. You made me part of this. She switched back to crying. I made mistakes, but people make mistakes. You cannot throw away what we had because I was not perfect. This is not about being perfect. You do not forget to mention your husband and kid. Those are not mistakes. If you really loved me, you would forgive me. Give me a chance to make this right. And there it was, the manipulation. If you really loved me. If you really loved me, you would not have lied to my face every day for 18 months. We are done. Do not come back. I closed the door. She stood there for a minute, then left. I watched her walk to her car through the ring camera. She sat in the driver's seat for almost 10 minutes before starting the engine. Got a text from Blake an hour later. Kira called me screaming about how we are conspiring against her and refusing to understand her side. Fun times, I replied. She was just here. Tried the whole I love you thing. Tried that with me too after I kicked her out. Did not work. Want to meet up tomorrow. Compare manipulation tactics. Yeah, I wrote back. We met the next day at the same bar. Blake brought a folder. Lawyer's idea, he said. Document everything. He spread out papers on the table between our drinks. Credit card statements, text message logs, receipts, calendar entries, 18 months of evidence of a double life. She spent $8,000 of our joint money in the past year on you, Blake said. Dinners, hotels, gifts, trips. 8 grand while I am working overtime to pay the mortgage and daycare. $8,000. I felt sick. I never asked her to pay, I said. I know. She volunteered so she would feel less guilty. Plus she could tell me it was work expenses and I would reimburse her from our joint account. He showed me text messages between him and Kira. Her telling him she was at conferences, sending fake itineraries. Photos from hotel lobbies she claimed were client offices. She really committed to the lying, I said. That is what scares me about the divorce. If she can lie this easy about everything, what else is she capable of? Blake showed me more texts. After he kicked her out, she had been staying with her sister Jenna. But Jenna was apparently getting tired of it. Jenna called me yesterday, Blake said. Told me Kira is playing the victim. Saying I was controlling and emotionally absent and she had to find happiness somewhere. Is Jenna buying it? Not even a little, said this is classic Kira. What do you mean classic? Blake took a drink. Kira did this before, in college. Dated 2 guys at once for almost a year, told each one the other was just a friend. Jenna thought she grew out of it, and there was twist number 2. This was not a one-time mistake or a marriage gone wrong. This was a pattern, something she had done before and apparently never stopped doing. I was not special, I was not even original. I was just the latest version of something she had been doing since college. Great, I said. So I am part of a pattern, we both are. Blake's phone rang. He looked at the screen inside. Her mother. He answered on speaker. Blake, honey, I heard what happened. Kira's mom, Janet, said, sympathetic tone, I am so sorry. Thanks, Janet. I want you to know I think what Kira did was unacceptable, completely unacceptable. Blake and I looked at each other, waiting for it. I appreciate that, Blake said carefully. But Janet continued. There it was. I do think you are being harsh, kicking her out, refusing to talk. That is extreme. She made a mistake, but she is still Izzy's mother. She had an affair for 18 months. That is not a mistake. Well, yes, but marriages are complicated. Maybe if you two communicated better, worked on your intimacy, she would not have felt the need to look elsewhere. Blake's jaw clenched. Are you blaming me for her cheating? I am not blaming anyone. I'm just saying it takes 2 people to break a marriage. It takes one person to step outside the marriage and start a whole other relationship. You are being very black and white, Blake. Life is messy. People make mistakes. If you love someone, you forgive. I love my daughter, which is why I am protecting her from learning that lying is okay if you feel justified. Janet sighed like Blake was being unreasonable. Fine, be stubborn. But do not come crying to me when Izzy grows up without her mother because you could not be the bigger person. Blake hung up. We sat there for a minute. Wow, I said. Yeah, that is Kira's family. Nothing is ever her fault. Someone else is always to blame. We kept going through the evidence. It got worse. Kira told Blake she was taking online classes to advance her career. He paid for them. The classes did not exist. She claimed her car needed repairs multiple times. Blake paid. The car was fine. She said she was helping Jenna with expenses after Jenna supposedly lost her job. Blake sent money. Jenna never lost her job and never got any money. Where did it all go? I asked. Probably to fund her other life. Nice clothes, makeup, spa days, looking good for you. She never mentioned money problems to me, because I was funding her side piece lifestyle without knowing. Blake's phone buzzed with a text. He showed me. It was from Kira. I know you are with Noah. Jenna saw you at the bar. You guys are pathetic bonding over hating me. Hope it makes you feel like big men. I took Blake's phone and typed back. Actually makes us feel like idiots for not seeing through your lies sooner, but we are learning. 3 seconds later she called. Blake answered and put it on speaker. Do not you dare respond to my texts, Kira screamed. He is helping me catalog your lies, Blake said calmly. There is a lot to cover. You two are sick. Getting together to bash me. Making me the villain when my life is falling apart. Your life is falling apart because you destroyed it. We are just documenting. I needed both of you. Do not you get it? Blake, you stopped looking at me like a woman years ago. I'm just Izzy's mom and the laundry person. And Noah, you were suffocating, always wanting to know where I was, always needing me around. I needed space. Space, I said. You spent 2 to 3 nights a week at my apartment. That is different. How? Blake asked. It just is. You would not understand. Neither of you understand what it is like to feel trapped. So you started another relationship instead of talking to me. Blake asked, like you would have listened. You are always so perfect. So rational, so boring. Blake actually laughed. There it is, not that you felt trapped, you were bored. Do not put words in my mouth. You just said it, I told her. She was crying again now. You guys are bullies, that is what this is, bullying. I made mistakes, but you are torturing me. We are building a divorce case, Blake said. My lawyer calls it discovery. You are actually divorcing me. For real? Did you think I was not? I thought with time you would calm down. We could do counseling. Work through this. Kira. You cheated on me for 18 months while spending my money on your affair. There is nothing to work through. Fine, divorce me, see if I care. But I am getting half of everything, Blake, half the house, half your retirement, everything. And I am getting custody of Izzy because I am her mother. You abandoned your daughter multiple nights a week to sleep with your boyfriend. I was working. No, I said. You were with me. Silence on the other end. I hate both of you, she said and hung up. Blake put his phone down. Well, that was fun. By the time we left the bar, Blake had everything he needed for his lawyer. I had typed up a full statement about my relationship with Kira. Dates, locations, everything I could remember. Thanks, Blake said as we walked to our cars. I know this is weird, but having someone who gets it actually helps. Yeah, I said. It does. Driving home, I realized something. I was not heartbroken anymore, just angry. Angry I wasted 18 months on someone who saw me as a prop in her double life. Angry Blake was losing his marriage and his daughter's stability, but mostly grateful I found out when I did, before I proposed, before I got more tangled in her mess, got home to an email from Kira. Long thing about how I betrayed her by talking to Blake, how I was just as bad as him. How we were conspiring to destroy her when all she did was love too much. I deleted it without finishing. Update 2. It has been 3 months now. Blake's divorce went fast. When you have documented proof of adultery, financial fraud, and abandoning your kid for an affair, things move quick. Kira fought it hard, though, got herself a lawyer. Tried claiming Blake was controlling and emotionally abusive, said I was vindictive and manipulative. Her lawyer painted her as a woman trapped in an unhappy marriage who made a mistake seeking comfort elsewhere. Blake's lawyer destroyed that narrative. They had phone records showing Kira texting me and Blake simultaneously for months, coordinating lies in real time. Receipts showing her charging personal expenses to their joint card while claiming it was work stuff. Her own Instagram posts documenting our relationship while lying to Blake about where she was. The custody hearing was brutal according to Blake. We had started meeting every couple weeks for lunch by this point. Strange friendship, but it worked. She claimed she was the better parent, Blake told me over sandwiches, told the judge I was distant and she was the primary caregiver. What did the judge say? Asked her to explain why daycare records showed I did all the pickups and drop-offs. Why Izzy's pediatrician had only ever met me, never her. Damn. Yeah. Her lawyer tried to talk about quality time versus quantity time. Judge was not having it. Asked Kira directly how many bedtimes she had done in the past 6 months. Could she answer? Could not answer because the real answer was maybe 5 out of 180 nights. Blake got primary custody. Kira got supervised visitation every other weekend until she completes parenting classes. She lost the house, only got 30% of assets because of the money she stole, and has to pay Blake back $8,000. She called me after the judgment, Blake said, screaming about how the judge was biased. The system is rigged. Her lawyer was incompetent. Any responsibility on her part? Not even a little. Still the victim in her own mind. She tried contacting me too during this time. I had her blocked everywhere, but she tried from other numbers, always the same thing, begging for another chance or accusing me of conspiring with Blake to destroy her, never anything in between. Blake paid for lunch like he always did now. Said technically Kira had already bought me enough meals with his money anyway. How is Izzy doing? I asked. She is okay. Asks about mom sometimes. I keep it simple. Say mommy is working on being better. My therapist says that is the right approach. You are in therapy, started right after I kicked her out, needed help processing all this. You should try it. Maybe, I said. We talked about normal stuff after that. Work life, the Broncos sucking. Weird how comfortable the friendship had become. Hey, Blake said as we were leaving. I'm having a thing next week for Izzy's 5th birthday. Small party at my place. You should come, me? Yeah, you are my friend, and you unknowingly helped me see my marriage was a lie before I wasted more years on it. That is a weird reason to celebrate at a kid's birthday party. Come anyway. I went. Met Izzy for the first time. Smart kid. You could tell Blake was doing a good job with her. His parents were there, his sister, some friends. Normal people having a normal party. No Kira, obviously. Her supervised visit was the next weekend. Blake's sister pulled me aside at one point. So you are Noah? Yep. Blake told me everything. That is rough. Yeah, for what it is worth, I never liked Kira. She always seemed fake, like she was performing instead of being real. Pretty accurate assessment. Blake seems better now, lighter, like a weight came off. She was right. Blake did look lighter, tired from single parenting but genuinely happy in a way I bet he had not been in years. Leaving the party, Blake walked me out to my car. Thanks for coming. Thanks for inviting me. This is weird how it all worked out. Your wife cheats on me with you, we become friends, now I am at your daughter's birthday party. Life is strange. You doing okay? Yeah, I am. Still sucks sometimes, but I am not drowning anymore. Good. You deserve better than what she gave you. You too. I drove home feeling weirdly at peace. I had spent 18 months with someone who did not exist. The Kira I dated was a character she played. The real Kira was someone who lied to her husband, ignored her daughter, and spent his money on her affair. All while convinced she was the victim of 2 men who did not understand her. Blake and I had both dodged bullets. He's just had a kid attached to it. Final update. It has been 6 months since I answered Kira's phone and heard a man call her babe. 6 months since my entire relationship turned out to be someone's escape fantasy. Figured I should close this out. Kira is living with her sister Jenna now, working retail part-time, seeing her daughter twice a month under supervision. Still convinced, according to Blake, that everyone else is the problem. Her therapist, the judge, her lawyer, Blake me, never her. Blake told me last week she started dating someone new. Guy she met online. Does he know, I asked, about Izzy, about you, about any of it? Blake shook his head, doubt it. Should we warn him? Would he believe us? Probably not. Then he will figure it out on his own. Some people never learn. Kira is one of them. She will keep making messes, blaming everyone else, never looking in the mirror. Not my problem anymore, though. Not Blake's either, beyond co-parenting. Blake and I still meet for lunch every few weeks. Sometimes we talk about the whole Kira situation. Mostly we just talk about normal stuff now. Work, sports, his dating life, which he is slowly getting back into. He is a good friend. One I never would have had if his wife had not cheated on him with me. Weird how life works. As for me, I am doing okay. Better than okay, actually. Started therapy like Blake suggested. Learned I have some codependent tendencies that made me ignore red flags with Kira, working on that. Been on a few dates, nothing serious yet, taking it slow. First date now involves some basic verification questions. Do you have a spouse? Any kids? just to be sure. Sounds paranoid, but after 18 months with someone's wife, I figure paranoid is reasonable. The thing that still gets me sometimes is how good she was at it. 18 months of juggling two complete lives without either of us knowing. That takes skill, dedication, a special kind of compartmentalization that honestly scares me. But it also taught me something valuable. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. And when someone's life does not quite add up, trust that feeling. I had moments with Kira where things felt off. Little inconsistencies I explained away because I wanted the relationship to work. Never again. Blake texted me yesterday. Izzy asked if her friend Noah could come to her next birthday party. Guess I made an impression. I said yes, obviously. That kid deserves all the stable adults she can get. So that is where this story ends. Reddit. Not with me getting the girl, not with some dramatic revenge. Just with me and Blake having lunch every few weeks, me going to therapy, and a little girl who calls me her friend. Strange ending, but honest. And after 18 months of lies, honest feels pretty good.